Alright, good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. Got 5 boosters from Battle for Zendikar. Well, it's from the pre-release. Let's see what we got. I don't expect much, but anyway. I actually didn't do too, I don't know, I did okay in the pre-release, I think. Let's see, we have a reprint of Dispel, Calastrian Nightwatch. Actually, this is a decent card. 4/5 for 5 mana. It's pretty good, and whenever you gain life, it becomes a flyer, and it's also an ally, so it works for that trigger. Let's see, Earthen Arms. Nice. I've seen people do some interesting jokes with that. Merc Strider. Interesting. It's blue, but it is devoid. Boiling Earth. I played this in a deck Sunday for the Sunday pre-release, and I couldn't get it. Everyone had Eldrazi Signs and 1/1 creatures, and I couldn't get these in my hand. I had 2 of them. Oh well. McKindy Patrol. Decent ally. Gives your creatures vigilance. Excellent in pre-release. Let's see. Lava Step Rider. I actually had 3 of these, but I didn't play them because they're okay. I probably could have done pretty well with them, but I already had better creatures at 1 casting cost, and I didn't want to overdo it. There were just too many huge creatures to deal with in this set. Dominator Drone. Ondu Champion. Gives your creatures trample. Not bad. Actually, what I liked about it was these work for all creatures, not just allies. Which means, oddly enough, they work with the Eldrazi. Strange. Ghostly Sentinel. Now we're getting into our uncommons. Zulaport Cutthroat. Whenever it or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Unified Front. Converge. Put a 1/1 white core ally creature token onto the battlefield for each color of mana spent to cast Unified Front. That's actually pretty powerful with ally triggers. Good lord, can you imagine all the things you could do with it? Being able to suddenly pump up all your creatures +2/+2, or pump up all your creatures even to +1/+1. It's pretty good. Yeah. Now, giving them all vigilance 4 times doesn't make that much of a difference, but perhaps being able to tap down opponent, I don't know. You just have to try it out. Let's see. Our next uncommon was Blighted Cataract. This is actually a pretty decent card, too. It comes into play, it's not tapped. You can pay 6 mana and tap it to sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. Which essentially means you're paying 7 mana, because although you tap it to sacrifice it, you still tap it and you couldn't get the mana from it. So with 6 other lands and tapping it, sacrificing it for 2 cards, not too bad. I could actually see this being played a lot because a control deck will need them. And our rare was Emeria Shepherd. That's actually a really good card too. Landfall. Whenever a land enters a battlefield under your control, you may return target non-land permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If that land is a plains. Let's see. If the land is a plains, you may return that non-land permanent card to the battlefield instead. This works very well with cards that pull lands out of your library into play. If you have a sacrifice effect, for example, you could actually use it with... you could use it with the one snake from... I can't remember the name of it. 1/1 green, sacrifice it, search your library for basic land. Put plains in play, pull it back into play with the Emeria Shepherd's ability, etc., etc. Just basically pull every land out of your library. Yeah. Let's see, we have a 3/1 Trample Haste Elemental as well. Set that right there. Still have our packs to open, and we got a Forest. That's kind of nice. I really like these, that they're reprinting the full art lands. On to pack 2. See, it's hard to think of other cards that would search for a plains or put a plains back into play. Cartographer wouldn't put it into play, though. Essentially, anything that allows you just to recur that effect would be good. Nirkana Assassin, Vampire Ally. Whenever you gain life, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. Seek the Wilds, a version of kind of like an Inspiration in green, depending. You get to choose a creature or a land card. And then Oracle of Dust. Works very well with Realm Razor and a lot of other effects. And the air conditioner is about to kick on. Altar's Reap. Cliffside Lookout. A decent card. It's going to be replacing, I think, Sunblade Elf. The one that gets +1/+1 if you control plains. And it has the pump ability as well. But now you'll have a white and a green. But it's going to rotate out. Goblin Warpaint. I'm glad they reprinted this. It's a good card. Works very well in a lot of red decks. Tandem Tactics. Also excellent for this set. Being able to pump up your creature's toughness is one thing. Being able to pump up your creature's power is even better. And you gain 2 life out of it. It's not quite as good as the one from Theros that's rotating out. That's Dauntless Assault, I think. Dauntless Onslaught. Basically, it was 2 and 1 white. 2 target creatures got +2/+2, which is pretty good. Kozilek's Chandler, our first colorless common. McKindy's Slide Runner. 2/1 trample for 2 and landfall trigger. Whenever land enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+1 to end a turn. Decent card. We've got a few cards with that landfall trigger, and it's pretty strong. Let's see, Courier Griffin. Enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Rot Shambler. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Rot Shambler. Decent card. There's a lot of that effect when a creature dies, getting +1/+1 counters, and for green to get it is pretty good. Also, it's a fungus. I love those things. Retreat to Emeria, a nice control card. You'd be able to put out tokens every time you play a land, which is pretty good. Combine that with Retreat to Coral Helm. Wait, is that it? I'll have to look up that card. Hopefully we'll see one. Dampening Pulse. Creatures your opponent control get +1/-1/0. Not all that great, honestly, but not too bad, I guess. In limited, it's kind of helps against all the Eldrazi Island. And our rare card is Scatter to the Winds. Counter target spell and awaken 3. Actually, not too bad. 3 mana counterspell is decent, but then you can pay 6 mana to turn one of your lands into a creature permanently. This might see play in a lot of different types of decks, because the way Control suddenly could win is by not playing any creatures, but then when they need to, they could just Scatter to the Winds to counter something. Then they'd have a creature to attack with. And then that means they start to win the game. So we got blue already set up. Huh. Got another one of those kind of cards. Haven't done one of them. I haven't done one of these in a while. I wonder if I should. Well, anyway. On to pack 3. Brilliant Spectrum. Nirkana Assassin. Seek the Wilds again. Oracle of Dust. Mantle Drone. 3 mana for 3/1. Taps to deal 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, untap it. This is an interesting card. It doesn't let you target... You can't target opponent's creatures, so it's not that powerful, but it's an interesting card. With a lot of recursion effects, it becomes even more powerful. But, I don't know. It's still a common, and it kind of shows. Fortified Rampart, 0/6. Belligerent Whiptail. 4/2 for 4. When you play a land, it gets first strike. It's not too bad, actually. In limited, it's pretty good. Sheer Drop. This is a good card. It's another one of those cards that you would play in a control deck with Scatter the Winds, because you destroy a creature for just 3 mana, it's tapped creature. Or for 6 mana, you destroy a creature, and then you can swing out, or keep it back to block another creature on their turn. Another Kozilek's Chandler. Another Slide Runner. Vile Aggregate. Its power is equal to the number of colorless creatures you control, and it has Trample and Ingest. This is an interesting card for a red and green deck with Assault formation, because it can deal damage with its toughness. You can use Crater Elemental in that kind of a deck, because, I mean, it's a huge amount of toughness. It's basically a 5/5 for 3 if you can get out Assault formation. Otherwise, play colorless creatures. You know, play the Eldrazi spawn cards. This thing just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's actually a really decent card. Retreat to Emeria, another one of those. Halimar Tidecaller. Interesting. We might have a foil. No, it's a land. It's a basic land. Halimar Tidecaller. When it enters the battlefield, you may turn target card with Awaken from your graveyard to your hand. Land creatures you control have flying. That's decent, actually. I like that. Because you can pull back your counterspell with it, because it has Awaken on it. So you have another counterspell as long as you play this card. It's actually a decent strategy. I wonder if they'll reprint anything like Conjurer's Closet. And our rare card is... Omnath! Hey! Omnath Locus of Rage! Nice! 7 mana, 5/5, legendary elemental creature. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, you get a 5/5 red and green elemental creature token onto the battlefield. And whenever it dies, or another elemental you control dies, you deal 3 damage to target creature or play. This is a decent commander. I'm glad I got one of these. Oh, wow. Gosh, where do I put it? I guess it's right there. Keep those packs in the shot. That's awesome. Let's see, we got Curly, the Eldrazi Scion. The new Eldrazi Scion Curly. And there's a Plains, Full Art Plains. Not too bad. Forest, plains, and island. Fourth pack. Oran Reef Invoker. Interesting. Turn it into a 7/7 if you pay 8 mana. And in green, you might get that. In limited, this is actually a decent card. You just got to get the mana. Brilliant Spectrum. Angelic Gift. I can't get this. I don't understand this card. It works with Blessed Spirits, but why? Why would you play it? It's, you know, you draw a card for it. Sure, you can make your cards cost 1 colorless mana less. Sure. There's a deck that could work with this, but I don't know. I mean, sure, there's a deck out there that can play it. Another Lava Separator, Rush of Ice. Tap target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next tap set. Awaken 5. And it puts 3+1/+1 counters on a land you control. It becomes a creature with haste. The problem with this card that I saw in pre-release, I didn't actually get to play blue, but every opponent thought they could cast this at instant speed. And I don't want to tell, I mean, that's a mistake. It's clearly a sorcery, but I do feel like they're not wrong. This should have been an instant. You know, it being able to tap a creature and then it not being able to untap. I don't feel you would have lost that much. It would have been perhaps making it 2 blue mana to cost and maybe bumping up the Awaken cost. But yeah, this should have been an instant card in this set, because people had Eldrazi's that they were getting out, and it's just... I know you could do it as a sorcery, but it really would have been... I mean, what is a rush that's at sorcery speed? I'll put it to you that way. Natural Connection, instant speed land retrieval, basic lands. This is actually fun with all the landfall triggers doing them on your opponent's turn. That's kind of cool. I wish there had been a larger version of this, like a 2 green and 2 that searched for 2 forests and put them into play at instant speed. I'd play that. Or shoot, make it a 5 mana cost if you have to. Make it a 3 green and 2 that searched for 3 basic lands and put them directly into play on your opponent's turn. That'd be fantastic. Probably broken as heck, but I'd play it. And the thing is, I'd settle for 3 green and 2 for putting 2 basic lands of any type into play at instant speed on the end of your opponent's turn, triggering landfall. I'd do all of that. That'd be great. A Natural Regression, instant speed, my creature fights your creature. We get this at instant speed, typically sorcery, but we can't get Rush of Ice at instant speed. I don't understand. Geyserfield Stalker, 3/2 Menace. Landfall gives it +2/+2 until end of turn. 5 mana for 3/2 Menace. Not bad, actually. In limited, it's really good. Cloud Manta, flying 3/2 for 4. Fire Mantle Mage, 2/2 for 3. Rally, whenever it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain Menace until end of turn. Let's see. Has to be blocked by 2 or more creatures, so it doesn't stack. That's the uncommon. I mean, that's a decent effect, making your creatures more difficult to block. Horribly Awry. 2 mana counterspell. Counter target creature spell with converted mana cost 4 or less. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. And our third uncommon, Pilgrim's Eye. Decent card. I'm glad to see it was reprinted. It's a good card. And we have 3 cards. This is the rare. I believe we'll have a foil. Our rare is Brood Butcher. 5 mana for 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1. Put a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi sign creature onto the battlefield. It has sacrifice at 1 or 2 colors. Yeah. And then sacrifice a creature. Target creature gets -2/-2. You have to pay 1 green, or sorry, 1 green and 1 black to use that effect. So with those 2 cards, you could give a creature -4/-4, sacrificing the Scion and this. That's an effect, I guess. You will probably better than trade in most cases, because you could still block and sacrifice the creature after it has been declared as a blocker to destroy another creature, so that is a definite thing. Oh, hey, our foil is a Plains. Wow. That's a pretty Plains. Wow, that's actually really nice. I like that. I like that a lot. A foil Plains and regular Plains, and we got Omnath's Elemental. Aw, it looks just like you. That's cool. Let's open up that last pack and see what else we got. Wow, foil. Full art. That's my first foil full art card for lands. That's awesome. Alright. Another Brilliant Spectrum. Arcana Assassin again. Seek the Wilds. Coracle of Dust. Kozilek Sentinel. 1/4 Devoid. Whenever you cast a color spell, that gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Again, this goes in the Assault Formation deck. A 1/4 for 2. You just need a way to get Assault Formation into your hand so you can cast it. This side, look out. Volcanic Upheaval. We get an instant speed land destruction, an instant speed fight mechanic, an instant speed land coming into play, but we get a sorcery speed unsummon. Or a sorcery speed tap down target creature. I don't understand. I mean, I understand blue is pretty strong, but still. Oh well. Lifestring Druid, 3 mana for 2/1, taps for any color mana. Another Druid. Valakut Predator. This card's pretty good. I actually got 4 of these in my pre-release. I never had more than 2, but they were still, I mean, that's still pretty good. Again, it gets +2/+2 whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control with the instant land effects. It's really nice. There's a green spell, gives creature +2/+2, and then you could put a land from your hand into play tapped, or into play, yeah. Basically what I'm saying is, there were a lot of cool effects that worked very well with these landfall triggers. There's Sheer Drop. Scythe Leopard. Wish I had gotten that in the pre-release. That's a cute card. Works very well with landfall. But I still probably might not have played that many of them. Grove Tender Druids. 3/3 ally. Elf Druid ally. Whenever Grove Tender Druids or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 green plant creature token onto the battlefield. Interesting. I need someplace to put my uncommons. Well, I guess kind of going off the edge of the shot there. And we got a Blighted Step. Let's see. This is the one there you gain life for 2 life for each creature you control. 4 mana tap sacrifice. So 5 mana. Gain 2 life for each creature you control. Uncounterable, essentially. I mean, Stifle works, Tripbind works, but still, it's not too bad. And our rare card is Guardian of Tazim. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature and opponent controlled. If that land is an island, that creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. What is with this sorcery speed nonsense? Oh well. We got some interesting cards in this set. These 5 rares and a foil full art plains. Not bad at all. Our last 2 cards, we got a full art. We actually got the cycle, look at that. Forest, Island, Plains, Swamp, Mountain, and an extra plains. Another Eldrazi Scion. This is Larry. No. That's Shemp. This one is Shemp. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you're having a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, and or a wonderful evening, and I hope tomorrow's even better. Take care, everyone.